All right, guys, it was Monday, November 8th, 2021. So I've got some news here. I'm going to change the car lineup again. I kind of have a new plan, and I think it's going to be pretty fun. So I'll go back to posting a whole bunch of videos, probably daily again, if not every day, at least every other day, but more than likely every day. Anyway, so I got a call that I've been waiting on from the machine shop Friday. My 400 small block is ready for my 55 hardtop. Finally. They told me 2 weeks when I dropped it off, and it's been pretty much 3 months. So I told him that I would come over Monday or Tuesday to pick it up. Now, I was planning on going this morning, but when I looked at the weather, it's going to be like 77 degrees today and sunny. It's kind of out of normal right now because we've had rain and cloudy and cold, and so I've decided to go ahead and get the engine out of the car today while it's nice, and then I'll use tomorrow it's not going to be as warm. I'll go down there first thing in the morning and get that, and by the time I get back here and get started, it'll be a little bit warmer. So that's my plan. But anyway, I'm going to get you up to speed here real quick. I've tried to do this video twice already, and this video ends up being like 25 or 30 minutes long. So all I can tell you is there's no build part of this video. This is just me updating everybody and talking in detail my plans, because I am changing it around, and I'm going to run you through that right now. So the 4-door, I haven't really got anything for you on that. I have still been doing body work, metal work, hammer and dolly work, that type of stuff. I did start a pretty cool project on that car. It requires a lot of fabrication. It's a thing that I have never seen done. I'm not saying it hasn't been done. I'm just saying I've never done it. I think it's going to be really awesome, but I'm going to wait. I'm not going to talk about it. When it's done, I can put all the videos that I've taken so far and put them all together in one video and show that. So anyway, so the 4-door is not ready for anything for a video yet. So anyway, now we'll get to the hardtop. So after he called me Friday, I got all excited. This car, if you'd been seeing it in the background of the 4-door videos, this thing was covered in dust, heavily covered in dust. So I ended up, now my neighbor over here is going to be running a skill saw or table saw, so here he goes. If you hear a saw, there's nothing I can do about it. It's a daily thing now that he's retired. So anyway, I wiped the car all down, detailed it out, cleaned the carpet. I mean, I spent a few hours on the car just cleaning it up because it was so dusty. I did the wheels, the dash, the carpet, the back panels back there, the engine, the frame, everything. And I fell in love with it all over again. It is amazing when you go in and you have to wipe an entire car down, every square inch of it. It's amazing the stuff I have done to this car that I forgot I did. There's so much custom stuff I've done. I'm so proud of it. Anyway, to get you up to speed, in case you have not seen my other videos, I found that at a truck stop the other day and I had to have it. I'm not sticking that to my 55. There's no way. I don't put stickers on my cars. Just me. I might put it on the back bumper of the truck, but it will not go on my 55s. But anyway, this is a 350 engine. It was actually, I rebuilt this for another project car I had, and then I ended up trading it off or selling it. So I ended up going ahead and using it in the 55, but I had a 400 small block here that I wanted to put in this car. 400 small blocks are my favorite. I'm a small block guy to the bone. I doubt I ever do an LS. Now, I'm not knocking LS engines for you LS gurus. I'm not. They are a superior engine, no doubt. But to me, I know small blocks so well, and I have all the small block stuff here. I'd already bought all this brand new small block stuff. There is no way I'm going to do an LS swap. These 55 Chevys, you can't just get an LS from out of a truck at a salvage and drop it in. It don't work that way. So you have to buy a lot of components to get one to go into these cars, and I'm not doing it. I can't afford it. So I'm doing good to have this car as far along as I have it, because you know, I started this project in 2013. So over that span of, 8 or 9 years or whatever it is, it has been not so bad on the bank account, basically, is what I'm saying. But I've had a lot of cars that I tinkered on or finished up and sold them and just used all that money to buy new parts with. So that's how pretty much I built the car. But anyway, so the plan is now, I'm going to go get that motor tomorrow, engine, in case that insults some of you guys, motor to engine. I always call them motors. It's the way I was raised, and that's the way I call it. But some people seem to have an issue with that for whatever reason. Got better things to do. But anyway, I'm gonna go get that engine, and I'm not the guy that likes to bring an engine home that fresh from the machine shop and just let it sit around in pieces. I want to go ahead and assemble it as soon as possible to keep the surface rust off the crank journals and the cylinder walls and all that kind of crap. So if I'm going to get that engine home and start working on it and get it all assembled, I might as well run the valve train in it, get everything painted, put together, and then put it in the car. So, and get it back running again. Because if you remember, I got this car to where it started ran and I drove it to the end of my block and back. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get it right back to where it was. Now the reality is it's probably going to take about a week, you know, week to 10 days to do that probably. Maybe not, but you know, just kind of give me a little comfort zone there. But at that point, the car, to where I could actually start driving it around the housing addition and not worry about getting pulled over because I don't have any body panels on it, you know, I could go ahead and paint my body panels, get them sanded and buffed, and get them installed on the car, and then it looks like a car, and I could wire up the headlights and turn signals and all that. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. Now the other side of that is Thanksgiving's coming up rather soon, just a couple of weeks away, a little over a couple of weeks maybe. I don't know if we're having Thanksgiving at my parents' this year. We didn't have it last year because of the pandemic. Anyway, I need to get a hold of them and see what we're doing. But if we are having Thanksgiving, I thought it'd be cool to get the body panels bolted onto the car and then at least get the front seat finished up. I've got half of it probably finished. I need to finish putting the other seat back together and that type of stuff. And then get the front seat bolted in it where I could actually sit in it and I could drive it, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to worry about door panels, package tray. I'm not even going to worry about the back seat, getting it done to put in there. I mean, obviously, if I have a little more time, I would do that. But just to get the car to where it looks like a car and the signals and lights and all that work in case, you know, a police officer's cruising around the housing addition, which they do sometimes, it's not going to be getting towed because it's not safe, you know what I mean, or not road ready. I'm looking at it this way is my dad has always claimed he's wanted to go for a ride in the car. So that would be kind of cool to go down there for Thanksgiving because they live only 4 houses down. So it's not like I got to drive a long way in the car. I probably won't even get it out of second gear. But anyway, at least I could take him and my mom around the housing addition in the car. So that's kind of my new plan. I'm going to get ready for Thanksgiving. But if I'm that far along with that car and it's running and driving, there's my next car or my other set of wheels that I can drive because my square body engine is in bad shape, man. It's got some noise on the bottom end. I will not be surprised if I make it to Pryor, Oklahoma tomorrow and back with my 400 in the back of it. I am that scared of it. That's how noisy it is. I'm not really worried about the engine if it comes apart. It's just the tow bill I don't want to pay, but I do have another engine that I'm going to swap it out with, but I do have to build it. It has to have machine work and stuff. Not bored or nothing, I just need to get the crank turned and I want to go ahead and clean it up and vat it and new cam bearings probably. But anyway, that's the new plan. Now, once that car is done, if I make my Thanksgiving deadline in that car and it'll run and drive and it kind of looks like a 55 Chevy, you know, it's still going to need like the quarter windows put in and the window trim put on and that kind of crap. You know, the back seat upholstered, door panels made, trunk upholstered, that type of finish work. At that point, Daryl Starboard's car show in Tulsa in February is right around the corner. That's just 3 months away. So, you know, I might go ahead and stay on it and get it done. It would be, to me, this is kind of the smartest way to go at this point because it kind of sucks. The spare bedroom in my house, you can't even walk in the door for all the parts to that car in there. The door, all the body panels are in that room. The seats are in that room, and I'm running the original bench seat. So those big items take up a lot of room. There's shelving units in there, and they are packed with restored parts already done, waiting just to be bolted on. The only thing that's pretty much holding me up is painting the body panels. So it would open up that spare bedroom, and mainly just to get all the parts for this car in there. But anyway, I think that's what I'm going to do, guys. So yesterday I drained the antifreeze out of this. And today I'm going to get the core support off. I'm going to leave everything attached to the core support. I'm just going to pull it off the frame in one unit and lay it down on a blanket. The only thing I'm going to undo is the radiator hose up here and the 2 transmission coolant lines, and then just pull it off together. I'm going to pull the intake off the car. I'm going to leave the water neck and the carburetor still bolted on. That way I don't have to take, you know, the gaskets loose from the intake or nothing. So I'm going to try to do it as smart as I can, but anyway, I'm kind of excited. I will say I really, really wanted to go with a roller cam setup, just to have that ease of mind, but not going to make it, man. I talked about this in one of my earlier videos. Doing a roller cam conversion in an old school small block that was not originally a roller is $1,000. And I had a buddy here a few days back, and he's one of those guys that, you know, he knows everything. He doesn't do a whole lot, but he knows everything. And I don't even think he's ever put a roller cam in any of his old cars. But anyway, I told him it's going to be $1,000. He goes, "Oh no, you can get a cam and lifter kit for $650 out of Summit Roller." I was like, "Well, yeah, you can, but you got to have the other stuff to go with it." So I had to educate him on that. And when I say educate, because I've never done it, I actually called two cam manufacturers, and talked to them personally. And I learned some stuff. And I learned why my cam and lifters in this brand new engine went out. I have not had a cam failure since the early 2000s. And I started using zinc oils because back then in like 2001, I think is when it was, or 2002 or 3, I flattened a cam during break-in, hydraulic flat tappet. And I called the cam manufacturer and talked to him, and that's when he informed me that the oil manufacturers took all the zinc and the molybdenum, there's other things, out of the oils. It's lubricants for flat tappet camshafts. They took all that stuff out. So if you're running a hydraulic flat tappet, don't just put regular oil in your engine. You're going to fry it. It will end up grinding your cam and lifters away. So, and when that happens, the oil goes through all your oiling system. Your oil filter don't catch all that fine, minute particles, and it will just end up eating your crank journals and your rod bearings and main bearings up, and pretty much just trash that engine out. So at that point, you have to pull the engine, have it all vatted and redone again. Probably polish the crank or turn it again, depending on how bad it is. But anyway, now if you go with a hydraulic roller camshaft, because that's what I was going to do, the reason it's pretty much $1,000 is you got to change your distributor gear. And it is not a bronze distributor gear if you're doing a street-driven vehicle. I was informed that they recommend a nylon gear for a street-driven vehicle. So I'm not questioning that. That's what a cam guy told me from the company, so that's what I'm going to go with. They're going to know more than my buddy down the street that thinks he knows it all. So anyway, you need that cam gear, which was like $140. And also you're going to need a cam button that keeps your cam from walking back and forth. Those aren't that expensive, but you also need a special length push rod because roller lifters are taller. So by the time it's all said and done, it's pretty much $1,000, and I don't have the money. I do not have the money. I think it's a ridiculous price to pay, and I just don't want to pay it. So I'm just going to go back with a hydraulic flat tappet again. But this time I found out from another cam manufacturer, why that cam went down. So in case some of you professionals do not know this, because I didn't, I always break in my cams to 20 minutes or whatever, just like they all recommend. And it's kind of funny because you look at some of the cam manufacturers' websites, and some of them are a little bit different on their time. It's not a whole lot, but some of them are different. You also, nowadays, since the metal is softer than what it used to be, probably because it's been recycled from Toyotas and Hondas and whatever for the past 50 years. I don't know, but anyway, they want you to take your center valve spring out of your valve springs and run the car for 500 miles to break in the cam that way, and then put your centers back in your valve springs. I hate changing valve springs on a car. It sucks. If you have never done it, I've done it twice through the years. I hate it, absolutely hate it. You have to take your spark plugs out of your engine. You have to put a fitting in there in the spark plug hole, and you have to put air into your cylinder to hold the valves up. That's how you change a valve spring out on an engine without the valve dropping down when you pull the retainers off of it. So if you got headers in your car, or if your engine's kind of way over and you got wide fenders like a 55 Chevy, it is not fun, I can tell you that. So you got to put 500 miles on it, so the car's got to be together and running and driving. So it's just going to suck, you know what I mean? Or he did say you could put old used original valve springs in there, and you definitely, either way, do not want to over rev that engine. You don't want to, race somebody at a stoplight, or, get on it somewhere, because you'll float the valve train and possibly drop a valve and destroy your engine. So it's really kind of a screwed up mess anymore for hydraulic flat tappets. But when you compare a price of a hydraulic flat tappet at 150-ish, I know there are more and there's some that are less. 150 is about average for a kit, cam and lifters, hydraulic flat tappet, to $1,000. come on, man. There's a lot of people that can't afford that, and I'm one of them. So anyway, I'm just gonna have to go with a hydraulic flat tap it and either take the center valve spring out or put some old used ones in there. So anyway, that's what I have to do, and that's what I'm gonna do because I have to. So anyway, but today the plan is to try to get this engine apart, or well, not apart, but out of it, and I'm going to take as many parts off of it that I need for the 400 on there. Now I will say I do need to buy a flex plate and a new harmonic balancer. Both my flex plates from both my 400s. I have another standard bore 400 right here. It was a complete engine. I have decided I'm going to go ahead and sell that for a few $100 just to, you know, be able to buy more stuff for this car. But I was going to keep it for a spare, but it's just, it needs bored as well. I mean, you can kind of see the ring right here. I've tried honing it, but it's out quite a bit. It definitely go to 30, no doubt, but that was an all standard 400. Anyway, I've got both harmonic balancers from both these engines, but the rubber isolator in there has some cracks all the way around, so you know, I just don't trust it. I'd rather replace it with a new one, just a stock style replacement. And then both flex plates, one of them is chewed up from the starter gear, and the other one has a crack in it. So I'm just going to go ahead and buy a new flex plate as well, because 400s, if you don't know, 400 small block Chevy is the only small block Chevy that is, well, I shouldn't say that. It's external balance like a big block. Now your later model one-piece rear main small block Chevys, you know, center bolt head stuff, those have external balance weight on the flex plate as well. So anyway, I shouldn't say they're the only small block because they're not. But the old two-piece mains, this is the one that, you know, is external balance like a big block. So anyway, at the end of this mess, I will have my dream car, which is a two-row hardtop Bel Air, and I will have my dream small block, which is a 400. I love them 400s. The torque they produce, I just love them. I've had a bunch. I've raced a bunch. I love them. And it really probably is the smartest idea to keep that 400 right there for a backup in case something happens to the out ones, you know. So, but on the other side of it, I could sure use the $300 out of it, you know what I mean? But anyway, guys, I just don't know what I'm going to do yet on the cylinder head issue. I have Edelbrock East Street aluminum, brand new heads from Summit. My wife bought me back, I don't know, years ago for, she got her bonus from work, and it was her old job. She don't get that anymore, but anyway, that was something that she bought for me. It was a brand new set of aluminum Edelbrock heads. You know, big valves, aluminum. I mean, it's the first aftermarket aluminum set of heads I've had that I've actually ran. But anyway, I'm just not sure if I'm going to take the center valve spring out, or because I don't know if the stock valve springs off the 882 heads would go on here. I'd feel a little bit safer, just me personally, running the old original valve springs in these heads, but I don't know if, you know, the install height's the same and the diameter's the same. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to know until I take one of these off and take one of those off and compare it with the caliper and stuff. But anyway, so that is the plan. I'm going to jump onto the hardtop and at least try to get it up and running and driving, at least for Thanksgiving. I think it'd be pretty fun. It'd kind of give me that incentive to get out here and actually bust my butt on it. I love putting deadlines on stuff. Deadlines to me is just a way to get out here and work my butt off, instead of coming out here one day and it's, you know, my back's bothering me and I'm not that energized. Hey, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't like that. I would rather get out here and work. So anyway, I am going to upload this video so you guys know what's going on, and this is what's coming up. I will try to do daily uploads. Don't know if I'll be able to, but I should get at least several a week, I would say, on the car. But I really should probably paint the body panels today with as nice as it is, but the wind is blowing pretty good, and that is not good when you're a garage painter. So anyway, guys, that's the plan. I'm gonna get at it just in time for the saw noise. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.